Hey, what's going on, y'all? Now I'm out here today in some beautiful woodland, enjoying myself, becoming one with nature. I think that theme really fits into the message of today's video, which is the fact that every day on retention brings you one step closer to salvation. Every day that you continue to retain, you come one step closer to connecting to the source, to returning to self, to gaining freedom. Freedom from this toxic society that we're forced to participate in. Freedom from the hellscape that has become the modern era. You know, coming back to nature like this, it starts to restore the mind, brings peace to the soul. This is an essential part of freedom. But we'll get to how retention will bring you here. To start off, let's talk about some ways this toxic society keeps you enslaved. One of the main ways, I think the primary way that society, and not just modern society, but societies in general, keep control over their people, is through addiction. They got us addicted, at least had us addicted, to so many different things. Prawn, primary example. People busting nuts, left and right, daily. I was one of those fools. Daily. Letting out their vital life source energy. It's incredible how they don't even educate you on how nutritious, how much your body has to work to make that. That's your primary source. That's your body's primary goal, to make more of that. And exactly what that can do for you. They don't tell you how it equates to testosterone. They don't tell you how you get stronger, you have more energy, that you have more motivation, you look better. You know, your voice gets deeper, you're more masculine. They don't tell you all these different things. They don't want you to know, because that would make them lose control over you. If you cared to not spill your nut every day, you might care to start taking care of yourself in other ways. But we'll get to that. You know, these addictions that we have in this modern society, these vices that they try to hold us to. It's sick. Gambling, drugs, spending money through consumerism. You know, they make you work like a dog to try and earn it, and they convince you that as opposed to saving it, you should just waste it on all these different things. I mean, and they'll figure out exactly what you like and convince you, hey, you need to spend your money on this. You want a new car? You want new clothes? Get some new shoes. Never teaching us to be content with what we have. Only to consume and to consume more. It's a waste. Some other ways this modern society has us by the balls. Metaphorically and literally. Toxic relationships, convincing you that you need to have friends, that you need to have social, engagement. Listen, most of these people out here that you call a friend are people who are just waiting to turn their back on you, waiting to betray you in one form or another. It's near inevitable. Most of these people are not loyal, not leal. They turn their back on you in an instant given the opportunity, given the incentive. You know, a lot of these people are using you as a source of, someone to hang out with, someone to eat up their time. And should they find someone better, they'll replace you in a heartbeat. These people are not loyal. Don't trust them. And don't be addicted to seeing them, hanging out with them. If you need to be alone, if that's what your life calls for at the moment, you have to be willing and ready to be so. Make solitude your home. Find comfort in isolation. Get to know yourself. What are some ways that semen retention will take you towards salvation? Because every day on semen retention is a step closer. Discipline. When you implement the discipline to not bust nuts all the time, when you have that kind of self-control to hold on to your sexual energy, something that is, and again, I talk about this a lot, but your semen is not just blob. It is actual lives. Every single one of those molecules, every single one of those little semen cells has a subconscious. It has a willpower and a mind of its own. That's why when it goes into an egg, it can then create a whole new life. That semen made life. That semen started a baby because it already has its own little brain, its own little will, its own little desire. And so when you have millions and millions of little nuts within you, little selves within you, all with their own distinct, wants and desires, and the primary one of those desires is to get out and get into an egg. When you can control and convince all those lives to be like, hey, chill out, as opposed to spilling this, I'm going to keep you in there, and we're going to be strong together. If you can convince your body and your semen of that, if you can control all those millions, I mean, imagine how much powerful your brain is going to be. You push one domino over, others start to fall. You start to implement discipline in that way, you'll start to see all the other areas in your life that need to be cleaned up, that need to be disciplined down. You start to care about yourself in that way, your body is going to start to care about you. It's going to show you all the things where you could be better. You're going to start to notice, dang, am I cleaning up my face? You know what I'm saying? Am I washing myself? You know what I'm saying? Am I showering when I need to be? Am I eating right? That's another way this society has us messed up. Fast food and just toxic food. So we're just putting into ourselves like no tomorrow. Bruh, not even questioning the foods that we're eating. And that's the worst part, I think. Because I mentioned this in many a video. But if there's only one thing you take from this, soy is estrogen. Not that it turns into estrogen when it gets in your body. Soy is a xenoestrogen. It's a molecule that mimics estrogen when it gets in your body. And so, I want you to go ahead and look up a fast food menu. Look at the list in allergens. And you'll see every single item has some form of soy in it. You look at behind the box on, some whatever you're trying to eat, bro. Cereal, crackers, whatever it is, bro. Look at the back of the box. You're going to see soy oil, soy lecithin, soy something, bro. Soy proteins. They got soy everything that they put in this goop got. Feminizing a culture. And microplastics, that's probably the worst of them as far as xenoestrogens go. I mean, they're making the frogs gay, bro. They did studies where they did it. They used these microplastics on frogs, and they turn gay. They turn feminine, bro. It's crazy. It's like, we laugh at Alex Jones talking that stuff, but it's true. They're feminizing our entire culture, our entire society, the entire populace of men. Why? So they can keep us under their thumb. So they can have us under better control. It's no conspiracy theory, bruh. A culture of strong men with their own willpower is going to be a culture that demands things for themselves. It doesn't just take what the government pushes on them. And the government can't have that. The government needs obedient little slave bots. So they'll do whatever they can to keep us suppressed, to keep our masculinity, our strength down, our strength under control, under their governmental thumb. I mean, it's the government. That's what they're supposed to do. Govern us, bruh. And to control us. The problem is that they're doing it in such sinister ways. It's the modern agenda. Trying to keep us at bay. Trying to keep our masculinity in check. So they literally put it in all of our food, bruh. So you have to start getting conscious about what you eat. Start being conscious about what you're putting into yourself. Start having extra care Every day that you gain on retention, you'll start to care a little more. You'll start to do the research that takes you farther. You're doing the research now. If you made it this far into this video, you're actually caring to take in this kind of information that might save you. That might save your future. It'll change your life. You know, just knowing these things, just getting this far on retention, it can really save your life as far as how far you will go. Because a lot of people, they're content to end up being little slave bots that work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their lives, never doing nothing, never owning something for themselves. It's when you start to care about yourself, your life, your future, when you start to get this far into retention, because retention, again, is an act of discipline. It's an act of self-love. To not just waste your millions of lives onto a towel, onto your bed sheets, onto the floor, onto your belly button, bro. To not just waste your millions and millions of precious lives onto, whatever. That's love. You have a love for these things, and despite that they want to get out, that you are, it's like a good parent, when your kid just wants to go do some crazy stuff, you're like, no, son, I'm going to keep you inside and keep you from going doing that because it's better for us both. As a parent and for you, I need to take care of you. So I'm going to implement this discipline. I'm going to implement this self-control, this control over you, so that the government and all these other powers that be don't have control over me. Don't have control over, and that's, I think it should be, I'll say this, most people don't care. So the fact that you care at all will take you farther than most people will ever go. You'll start to care about your life. You'll care about your future. You'll care about how things turn out for you. You won't decide to work a 9 to 5 job if that's not what's going to take you forward. You'll consider things like that. Now, before this video gets too long, I'll go ahead and wrap it up, but I wanted to make sure that this was felt, because people out here today are complacent in their lives, complacent with stagnation. They lack self-care. They lack self-love. They lack self-discipline, self-control. And it's when you engage with retention, it's when you care enough to retain your vital essence, that the other dominoes are going to start to fall into place. You'll care to break those bad addictions. You'll care to take care of yourself. You'll be motivated to make the changes that will take you farther in life than any of your peers. You'll cut off those bad relationships. You'll find new methods and new ways of improving your life. And really, that's the way to become the best version of yourself. So, as we get deeper and deeper in on this journey, even if you're not seeing the immediate results, just remember, every day you go farther on this journey, you come closer to salvation. You break the chains that society has put on almost everyone around you. And as you educate yourself more and more, you'll find all the different manners in which you can grow, strengthen your life, and achieve great things. All right. Take care, y'all. Peace.